look extra Shazamin today, and that's because I have a party to go to after I finish filming this video. Look at me being social. Crack-a-lack-and literary geeks, you made it to the weekend. Good for you. Some of the other word nerds have anxiety and depression, and I do as well. And we were talking about it kind of in the Turtles All the Way Down book club talk, so I'll link that down below if I remember. It's just that now with the whole we need diverse books movement, which is great, don't get me wrong, we kind of have left out mental illnesses a little bit. And the mental illnesses that I've noticed creeping into the book world are often not written quite right. Just my perspective, maybe there are people that have these illnesses that are reading these books being like, wow, that's me. Or maybe there are other people being like, that's not me at all. But I've noticed the big trend is depression, and depression is not glamorous, and I hate seeing it being romanticized. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been going through a major depression slump, like one of the worst I've had in a very long time, if ever. And just seeing it as like a fun thing for a character to have is not something that I enjoy reading. Depression in YA is being romanticized as this cool thing that the sexy, broody bad boy has, or the quirky, you know, cute pixie dream girl has depression, and oh, isn't she sad, and the power of love will cure them. I myself have a wonderful boyfriend, and while I can definitely say that spending time with him or spending time with my wonderful family, you know, does help me feel better, it's like it doesn't always make me feel better. I also have a partner who has depression, and I have other friends that have depression, and while seeing each other can be good and it is happy, or at least we can like pick each other up or like have a good interaction, as soon as we leave each other, like it's still there and there's kind of a mood about it that doesn't go away just because, you know, we had a 20-minute conversation about cats. A couple weeks ago I did a video on how to write disabilities, and I feel like this kind of goes along those same lines of, if you're going to write it, you need to ask someone that has that mental illness so that you're getting it right and you're not just writing a bunch of stereotypes. You can't have the overall arc of the story be someone miraculously recovering from said mental illness. Most mental disorders that people have are going to stick with them for life, and maybe it's just someone that is coming into their mental illness, like maybe they're just realizing they have one, maybe they're first going on medication, maybe they've been on medication for a long time, but it's something that isn't just like something that's gonna come and go in the course of a week or 2 weeks. And it's not an attribute that you can just give to your character and then kind of put on a back burner when it's not convenient. I'm also finding that writers having depression is something that's like good and encouraged, which no. I'm not talking about depression that's like you're sad because your hamster died. I'm talking about like you have to be rock bottom suicidal at all times to make any kind of good content, which is 100% not the case, and I would feel awful for anybody that's in that mood at all times, because as someone that has had extended periods of being in that, it's not fun. But I also find that when you're in one of those depressive periods, you're not really feeling that creative. Like when I get depressed, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm in bed, I want to sleep, I want to do nothing. I don't think anybody with depression ever has been like, oh my god, I feel so terrible today, I just want to jump off a cliff. You know what I should do? Write my new best-selling novel. If you yourself do have a mental illness and you want to write it into a book, that's great. Maybe that's a kind of therapy for you. Maybe that's a way to express, you know, this mental illness that other people don't know. Maybe it's not helpful at all. Maybe it's this thing that you're like dwelling on and then you have to think more about it while you're writing, and that puts you into a spiral. It is great if your character has a mental illness, because more inclusivity is always a good thing, but just make sure that if you yourself do not have it, to, you know, maybe ask some people that do, or go on forums or the internet or just something. If you yourself do have a mental illness, like, check it out, see what forms of therapy are available to you, seek help. Like, it's not something that, you know, you're like, oh, I should just keep being depressed because one day I'll be famous and then it'll be cool to have depression. Like, that's not a good way to think. I could go on about this for a very long time. I have a lot of strong feelings on this topic, but I feel like I should wrap this up. Please leave down below if you have your own thoughts on the romanticism of depression that's been kind of hitting literature lately. Join us at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here on YouTube for our live chat on Sunday, and I hope to see you guys all there. Bye!